I've looked at this for 5 hours now.
It's beautiful.
How's it going, guys? I'm Rob.
I'm Ruy.
And this is Soulless Flicks. And this is our review of The Little Mermaid 2023 live action film. If you enjoy our commentary, like the video, it really helps out. Subscribe and then comment and let us know your thoughts on it. So enjoy the video.
Enjoy it, guys.
We're here to review The Little Mermaid remake. And
2023.
Yeah, 2023. It's a remake of the classic that came out back in 89, I believe, 89 or 92, one of those.
Yeah.
But we are glad to announce that this is not a soulless flick. This was actually a really fucking good movie.
It was a fun watch. I'll tell you that. I came in thinking it was just gonna be boring, that it was gonna ruin the classic, but they did not go way over the top, and they did not play it too safe. So they did pretty good.
Yeah, like for context sake, we watched the original before we seen the remake just to get some context. You know, it's been fucking 15 years since I've seen the original movie. Growing up with three sisters in the same room, so I was forced to watch it over and over. But it gave a lot of perspective on this movie, and I really enjoyed this movie. Yeah, like you said, it's super faithful.
Yeah, it is super faithful. Even like most of the lines and most of the screenplay was almost like page to page.
Yeah.
But the things that they actually added to the story, they did not take. And the things that they took away was parts we didn't really need because it wouldn't have fit the story as well. So they did pretty good in that sense. One of the things that I want to talk about was the CGI.
Oh, yeah.
In the beginning of the movie, they're underwater most of the part because, I mean, you know, they're under the sea.
Yeah.
Right? It almost didn't feel like they were underwater all the time. Like, for me, it felt kind of like fake, and then the animals and everything looked kind of like fake, you know? You know when the CGI looks good and when the CGI looks bad. So, but then as the movie progressed, it actually got better. So I guess they worked on it as they went.
Yeah, I think this remake, because we talked about the problems that the other ones had, like Lion King, stuff like that, where there's no human characters, so it's hard for the emotion to be felt, you know, especially in a movie like that. But this one, like you said, the beginning of it was a little kind of like, okay, you know, the CGI was pretty tough to get through, especially with the animals and not being able to emote and stuff. But as soon as Ariel gets to land and we start seeing more human characters more often, I think that kind of tapered away. I've even put in my notes that the visual effects on the animals was not as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah. Compared to the trailer.
Compared to other remakes, but it still wasn't good.
Yeah. It's the fact that they're animals and they look real. You can't really see the emotion they bring up once they're talking. So they're talking, there's a lot of emotion from the voice actors, which they did a great job, but the animal can only do so much.
Yeah, like it's the photorealism, like visually, like from a technical aspect, it's fantastic. That's pretty cool that they're able to do that. But when it comes to, you know, telling a good story and having your characters, you know, having people feel for them, it just doesn't work.
And I think this is what helped in this movie, because in The Lion King, it's nothing but animals. So that you get no emotion. At least here, they were under the sea, then they went, you know, she got her feet and she was over there. She got human interaction. There was a lot more acting, and it was a little more engaged. One of the things I really enjoyed was how they involved a lot of the romantic life between Eric and Ariel. Yeah. You know, it wasn't just like, oh my God, like in the original, she's like, oh my God, I fell in love with him. I need to go meet him. And she was just, she was kind of annoying. She was just like simping hard for Eric. In this movie, at least, like she was more.
There's a little more build up.
She was more like amazed by the things that they had in the land, you know?
Yeah, and kind of like
people. She wasn't mostly just Eric.
Yeah. Like it didn't feel like just out of nowhere, boom, in love, yada yada.
They were learning things from each other, you know. They got to know each other, even though she couldn't talk, and they got to learn from each other too, which was great. Something you don't see in the in the animated film.
Yeah. And I'm going to go ahead and have a pretty hot take. I enjoyed watching this movie more than the original. Like I said, we watched the original right before we watched the new movie. And granted, you know, obviously the original's been out for how many decades? Like 3 decades. So, and how many times have I watched it and seen clips and stuff like that over the years? A lot. So having something new and fresh, you know, the recency bias is probably there. But I don't know. I really did enjoy this one. When we were watching the animated film, I was like, okay, this is cute, but
it's cute and some funny moments because of the animation. You know, it's
timeless. It's
it's
nostalgic.
It's like, you know, little stupid moments and stuff like that. And over here, you actually care for the character.
But that's something that the director had come out and said. Rob Marshall, I believe. And I seen this quote before I seen the movie, so I had a different feeling about it. But he came out and said that this movie is made for a different audience than will watch the original. And he said, you know, because it's going from animated to live action, and it's, you know, in the current times, obviously. And when I seen that, I was like this fucking guy, because I'm always like an original enthusiast. I always love originals more than, you know, remakes.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of remakes are soulless. You know, they're just trying to make money off of it. So when I heard that, I was like, wow. But then I seen the movie, and I completely understand his take. It's not a ridiculous take that he has. You know, a lot of filmmakers.
Yeah,
and
like they
directors.
gave a backstory to Eric.
Yeah, like
know?
they made it really good. Like there was some controversy about some of the like song lyrics, in especially in "Kiss the Girl," that song. And I'll be honest, like going into it, you completely fucking forget. It sounds,
you forget about the old one. You're watching a new movie.
It sounds like the exact same song.
The tension was so real between them both. I was just like, just fucking kiss already. Like, oh my, touch each other already. Like something, like hug, something. What the hell? I don't know. It was good. And then just like in the cartoon, they flip over the water and then they don't kiss. And also, what did you think about the villain?
I loved her. I loved her. Like
I think she did pretty good. She did not go above and beyond, but she didn't need to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think she was one of the standouts. Like Melissa McCarthy, I'll be honest, I really don't like her or most of the stuff that she's in. I think, you know, she's just jumped the shark when it comes to comedy.
Yeah, it's almost like she was the same character in every movie.
Yes,
she was in.
exactly.
And in this one, she went into the cartoon and came out.
Yeah. She transformed into the character. It was really good to see that. It was a breath of fresh air. I was, like I said, was expecting a shit performance, but she was actually pretty good, charismatic, funny, kind of creepy in certain scenes when it had to be. So she was literally one of the standouts. Another standout, I want to say, other than the CGI, obviously, because we already talked about that.
Yeah, we already talked about that.
Sebastian, David Diggs, the actor that voiced Sebastian, I thought he was fantastic.
Yeah, no, he was great.
Yeah.
You see the old Sebastian and this one, I prefer the new one, honestly.
Wow.
Yeah, I honestly prefer the new one, and he was funny.
Yeah, no, he was really good.
Yeah.
Line delivery, accent, everything. I'm not sure if he's Jamaican.
And I am not sure.
I'm gonna assume, you know, just because.
I almost wish we could have seen the scene where the cook is trying to.
Oh yeah,
him, you know?
they did cut that. Okay, yeah, I was trying to think of stuff that they removed.
Yeah, they removed that scene.
But honestly, like Ruy had said earlier, it's pretty scene for scene. Like they didn't take out a lot. And
even the script, like it was like almost the same thing.
And then the stuff that they added was pretty good. Like that in the middle of the movie, they added a scene or scenes where Ariel and Eric go to like a town square.
Yes.
And they're having a good time. I think there's a musical sequence at that point too.
Yes.
I thought that was one of the best parts of the movie in my opinion because it was just something fresh and new and something not just translated from the cartoon.
Yeah, because whenever you watch Under the Sea, you're like. Well, whenever I watched it, I was like, okay, this is not like the old one, but it's fresh and it feels new. And then they bring the other scene, which when they're in the town and they're dancing and they're singing, and it was fresh, it was new. I was hooked. I was into it.
Yeah.
Especially because you get to see them, you know, kind of fall in love with each other.
Yeah.
Which is what what it is about. You know, it's a love story.
Yeah, and the pacing for that love story was better in this film, obviously.
It did not feel rushed like this one.
Yeah, in the fucking cartoon.
Oh my God, Eric, I love you. Yes, baby, I love you too. Let's go. Let's get married. Let's get married. A woman that doesn't talk. Let's go.
Perfect.
No, in this one, they actually got interaction.
Yeah.
Got to know each other. It wasn't just a girl that doesn't talk and looks good. You know?
Exactly. Oh, yeah, because they made it a point in the cartoon to mention her looks, like, oh, your looks will get you. You don't need your voice.
Yeah.
All you have is your looks. But bringing that around, so all the songs are pretty good. I think in the beginning, I was still kind of jarred by like the CGI, the animals and whatnot at the very beginning. The
You
song,
get used to it.
yeah, you get used to it throughout the movie, but the song, and fucking excuse me for not remembering the title of every song, but the song where she's in her treasure grove, I felt like that one was probably the weakest for me personally. But
It was because
every
it
other
was
song-
almost the same thing as the cartoon. So I think since we had just seen the cartoon,
yeah,
it did feel kind of weak.
yeah,
But for new viewers and for kids that are gonna watch this movie, I'm pretty sure they're gonna like it.
yeah. Scuttle.
I prefer the old one. I'll tell you that because it was a dumbass, bro. In the cartoon, it was a dumbass, and this one it kind of is, but not really.
Do you know who voices Scuttle?
I had to look it up because I had never heard of her before.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you seen Shang-Chi?
Yes.
Aquafina?
Oh, that's her.
Yeah, that's her.
Oh, I didn't know. I'm sorry.
I could not stand Scuttle in this movie. Every time she was on screen, because they gender bent. It was.
But I think the character was supposed to be annoying. So
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
if that's the case, if you don't like it, I guess it works.
Yeah. I think that's what they were going for, but I could have done without.
The rap scene.
Oh God, I wrote that down. I was that.
Chip and Dale warned us.
That-
Have you seen the movie Chip and Dale?
No, I have not.
Oh my God. So basically they're all cartoons. They live in Hollywood, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And then they were like, yeah, every time they come into a remake, they have a rap scene, just like the Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Yeah.
Other movies, other cartoon movies, and then they did it on this one, and I was like, they were right. They were right.
Dude, this hands down took the cake for the worst scene in the whole movie.
Yeah.
Like,
We were doing so good, even in that song, because that was another new song. Whenever they're telling them the news that they were gonna get married, and they thought it was Ariel, all that good stuff, and it was a good song. It was catchy. I liked it. And then the rap scene happened, and I was just like, yeah, wrap it up.
yeah, it was so bad.
Maybe kids will love it. You never know.
Yeah, kids,
I mean,
kids will watch fucking anything, but it was at that scene where I cringed for the first time in the
Yeah, I
whole
was like,
movie. I was like, oh,
we were
shit.
doing so good.
Yeah, you said that out loud.
Oh.
But that one was bad. But and then
Okay,
my
go
bad.
for it. Go for it.
Another standout, in my opinion, because I'd say he's a standout because I've never seen him pretty much in anything before this. I had to Google some of his work. Was Prince Eric, the actor that played Prince Eric, Jonah Howard King. I thought he did an amazing job. Like he felt the most in character, and I don't know. I thought he just did great acting.
He did, and he was Eric, not Eric from this movie. He was Eric from this movie. You know, it was totally him. He had his own personality, his own view of the world, how he wanted to discover stuff, just like Ariel. That's why they had things in common,
And
from the sea and from the land.
He had to carry a lot because obviously Halle Bailey can't speak in a lot of the scenes that they're in, so he's the one doing all the talking with the lines and the delivery and stuff. And I thought he fucking killed it, with every line that he had, because obviously he has more lines than her.
Yeah,
So
and she did great too. I'll give you that right now. She did great too. She's Ariel.
yeah, I thought she did really good. My only issue, and again, this goes to maybe it's just the beginning of the movie for me. It was just so jarring because, like I said, it was underwater, all the CGI and whatnot. But I just felt like her line delivery in the beginning, at least, kind of was a little off for me. Like it felt a little as if she was reading a script. I know she doesn't have a ton of acting experience before this, so maybe
Even whenever they get attacked with a shark, she got scared. I didn't feel like she got scared, but I mean, maybe it's just the water.
But after she comes to land, I feel like it was completely different performance. Like she was awesome.
Yeah, because she was happy, She got feet. Maybe that's it. Maybe being in this suit or whatever, and I don't know if they use prosthetics or anything like that. Maybe she was uncomfortable,
I don't know how they would even. Yeah, I was thinking throughout the movie, how did they shoot this? I wonder how hard it would have to be trying to bounce off someone. And again, Flounder, Sebastian, stuff like that, when they're all it's all just CGI.
And then also when Eric gets bewitched by Ursula.
Yeah.
It wasn't like in the cartoon. The cartoon, he was just like a dumbass. He was like, yeah, I'm going to get married. He didn't even know what he was doing. He was like, yeah, I'm going to marry her. Why? I don't know. I owe her my life. Blah blah blah. He was so confused, and he was still asking for Ariel.
Yeah.
So there was conflict in him by being on the spell and being in love. So that was a good take right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, yeah, break the spell.
Speaking of, so the character's name that Ursula turns into is Vanessa. I was gonna say this while we're watching the movie, but I didn't want to. I was like, fuck it, I'll wait till now.
Okay.
Do you know who Lana Rhodes is?
No, I do not know who she is.
So this character looked exactly like
Who is
fucking
she?
Lana Rhodes, and like I literally did a double take in the fucking theater. I was like, "There's no way," and I was like, "Well, she's playing an evil
Bro,
character."
I literally thought it was a lookalike. I was like, nah.
I was like, "No, they did," and I was like, I had to remind myself this is a Disney movie. There's no
She's a
way.
great cook, guys. All right, really famous cook.
If you know, you know.
Let her cook.
But fuck, yeah, I had to mention that because it
But
literally.
yeah, I mean, no wonder he wanted to get married. It's like jackpot. But that's what it was. I mean, she was supposed to be, amazed by this beautiful woman and the boys and
other
she actually did
things.
pretty good acting too.
No, yeah, she did really
She
good.
did, like,
for the little part she had in the movie, she did
Yeah,
really good.
I mean, she was a character. It was her. And then Ursula came back, and I mean, I didn't feel like it was two different characters, like they weren't connecting at all. It was her playing McCarthy playing Ursula.
Yeah.
So she played two characters.
Yeah,
So it was great.
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah. She's great at acting.
Probably the only another bad thing, just fucking hell. Flounder.
I thought he was cute as fuck. I like fish. I like fishing. I saw him just like looking like a dumbass in every scene. Just like, but Ariel. I just love it. I don't know. I fuck with it.
I just that I think
The only thing I didn't like is that they didn't give him enough screen time, and he didn't do shit.
yeah, like
In the cartoon, he carried the statue and put it in the
oh
fucking
yeah,
cave.
yeah. How the
He
fuck
was
did he
swole.
get that there?
But in this one, Ariel did it. But
Yeah, you could take him out of the entire movie and you would have the same movie. That was probably my only complaint with Flounder is like I wouldn't even call him a side character. Like he's in it a little bit at the beginning and then sprinkled throughout. But I guess in the cartoon that is the case too because
I guess so.
she comes to land and he's stuck in the fucking ocean. But I mean, yeah, overall this movie is just like it's pound for pound the original brought to the screen, and then they added very small scenes to give
and it wasn't just like, I'm gonna add this in just to try to make it different.
or make it longer.
Yeah, it was important for the story. It's not like it was unnecessary. You kind of need it in order to care for the characters, and that they good in that fact.
Yeah.
The father and daughter relationship.
Oh yeah,
That was great. It was good. It didn't just feel like, oh, okay, he was a king and he just didn't want her to meet humans. Like you can feel the controversy in his head. It's like it might be too rough, blah blah blah, and you have the sisters. The sisters are actually talking in this.
Yeah,
this movie
yeah,
and
and
stuff.
I like what they did with the sisters, where each sister represents one of the seas, and it's represented in their ethnicity. I usually don't like when race is involved with a lot of stuff. I'd rather it just be kind of not forced, stuff like that. But I thought it was really interesting that they did it. Like, this sister is over this part of the sea, or this sea, the seven seas and whatnot. And because of the region, she's this ethnicity. I loved that. And then
and they were having like a annual meeting and stuff like that. So that was good.
And then you mentioned King Triton, Javier Bardem. I love that fucking guy. I love everything that he's in. I love him. He did a great job here. Like you said, the father-daughter relationship was really good. Even the kind of hard ass type thing that he was in the cartoon. That was translated really well here.
Yes, he did really well.
So I think he was fantastic.
Yeah, great casting. Great job, Disney. Actually,
Yeah, that was really
for
good.
the movie that I think that everyone was talking shit over for a couple of years, they actually did really good. So I'm glad we went with a clear mind after watching the original.
Yeah, I mean Rob Marshall directing. I had to look up. I wasn't familiar with his work, with his name, but he's done. He did the Mary Poppins Returns movie with Emily Blunt that came out on Disney Plus a couple years ago.
Did you watch that movie?
Nope.
Me either.
I give a fuck about Mary Poppins if I'm being honest.
The only Mary Poppins I care about is Yondu.
Oh yeah, that's my Mary Poppins.
I'm Mary Poppins, y'all.
But Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides, I watched that one. I didn't like it, so that's why when I seen that, I was like, damn.
This was his redemption movie.
Yeah, yeah, literally. And I'm pretty sure he worked with Javier Bardem on that as well, unless it was the fifth one that he was in. I can't remember if it was on Stranger Tides or
Yeah.
or
And
whatnot.
then they fixed also a lot of things that, you know, in the movie, the old movie, it was out of pocket. Like when they called her a tramp.
Oh yeah,
And there was some other things that were out of pocket for kids. And they fixed it in this movie. At least this one was a little bit more kid friendly. Back then, I guess Disney was able to get away with a
oh
little bit
yeah,
more
yeah.
stuff.
It was a different time,
Yeah.
so
Different time.
they definitely did update some of the dialogue to
Mm-hmm.
fit in today's kind of society, which
The cancel society.
yeah, exactly. It wasn't too egregious, so I didn't care for it, you know, or I didn't oppose it. It was pretty good actually.
Yeah, and the comedy did not feel too forced. It didn't feel forced at all. I laughed in the movie. It was funny.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
It's the same as the original, with some things added, and the actors did their part. So it was solid. There was, I can't really talk shit about it because there's nothing to talk shit about, you know.
Yeah, it was pretty
It's
good.
a remake.
Yeah. So definitely, like I said, not a soulless flick at all. It was a really good movie. Hopefully they can continue this trend with the ever growing list of remakes and reboots that they're going to be doing, or live action remakes. Hopefully we don't get another Lion King.
Hopefully we don't get a sequel of this one and they ruin it.
Oh
They
yeah.
did great. Move on.
Yeah, exactly. I know there were plans on doing a sequel to like Aladdin, the live action, and then a prequel to the Lion King, the live action one as well.
A prequel?
Yeah.
Why would you need a prequel when you have a good sequel?
I don't know.
So that's all I got. What rating do you give it?
Out of 10? 1 out of 10?
Yeah, 1 out of 10.
I give it an 8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
7.58. Yeah, 7.58.
Yeah. I thought
Yeah, because it's a fun watch. We're not talking about it it made me feel different after the movie, brought feelings that I did not want to feel or stuff like that. It was a solid movie, solid remake. 7.5.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
I think
Kids will love it.
Yeah, exactly. Like I went into this movie not expecting to like it at all. Like I said, because I'm a very original enthusiast. And I walked out, and like I said, I think I like it more than the original now.
Yeah.
So they did a really good job.
Do you think it will sell toys? No. Barbies? Yes.
Yeah. If you have any feedback or let us know your thoughts on the remake and the original, what your thoughts comparing the two in the comments.
Anything you don't agree with, let us know. We'll shut it down. And we'll see you guys next weekend for
Into the
Spider-Verse. Oh, no, it's not Into, it's Across now.
Yeah. They
I
already
knew
went
that.
into it.
I knew that.
But yeah, we'll be doing a review for Across the Spider-Verse, so tune in for that.